Hey friends, welcome. I feel like I was thinking today, I was like, is it time to officially say that the late winter, early spring practice section is concluded and we'll just come into the spring practice session? We're gonna do it right after that eclipse. That's the vibe. Whatever's our class following April 8th. So I feel like April 8th is a Monday. So the one after that, it's springtime officially. That's like the Vedic New Year and actually a lot of people's New Year's. Everybody who does spring New Year. So that's a lot of fun. Hey, marhaba, welcome to Morocco. For the next 3 months or so, we're going to beam it in from various beautiful places in Morocco. I'm doing a little modern thing now. I'm in the swank part of town in Marrakech. I'm doing like the modern Moroccan boho vibe, and honestly, loving every minute of it. So I'm excited to just ground. It's very windy in my head. I've been like this for a few weeks after this virus. Wind is also very spring like. It's a quality, one of those qualities of the spring season. We see wind, when winter is fighting spring and it's like, who's going to win? Like, you really want spring to win, but winter, right about now, winter is still winning. Like, if you're in the mountains or even the plains, winter might still be winning. So, a lot of winds of change, transformation, storm systems. Where we're headed is this energy of upward expansion. Think all the plants that are pushing through the soil and reaching for the increased sunlight. That's like us. We're right on the cusp of that galvanizing energy. So it could feel pretty windy. Wind can then show up in your body in all sorts of ways, from like dizziness and vertigo to tics and other things. This is liver, gallbladder, so things around the eyes. Heat, could be heat going upwards, could be heat going downwards. Things could get damp, heat, discharge, heaviness, heavy mood. Oh yeah, like we want spring to come, but we got to power through the parts of it that aren't as much fun. So I just had a big epic day of air travel, and so let's see. This today's practice might be what I would do following a lot of air travel, which is get grounded. So yeah, let's start on our backs. We're gonna come onto the back here, ease it on down. We need to do like some aspect of this practice is about getting all of the aura back together, right? There was a little bit when the place wherever you just left, there's a little bit of your energy field that you project on the places where you're going, and we gotta get it all back together. Let's ground. I'm here on the floor with knees bent. That just feels like the better idea for my low back. Feel all the parts of the body touching the floor, connecting to ground, connecting to earth, and just let yourself melt with each exhale. Are there any places in the body right now that feel grounded? Let's see if we can play a game of holographic mirror-like existence where we find that feeling in the body and then we amplify that. We mirror that feeling. This is a deep healing principle. Might be a little confusing if you try to understand it with your brain box, but your body understands it very well. I mean, Scanning my body for the places that feel grounded right now. I feel grounded in the back that's connecting to the floor. That's nice because that's in close proximity to my head, which does not feel grounded right now. My feet feel grounded here on the floor. Connecting to those places and playing a little game, like I'm making an invitation for that feeling to spread throughout the body, from my back into my chest, from my legs, feet up the legs, meeting at the pelvic bowl. From the trunk down the arms, up into the neck and head. Something about my head is feeling resistant to the grounding energy. So I'm just painting it wherever I can. Doesn't seem like it wants to go everywhere. Having a yawn, that's letting me know my body is starting to relax. I'm going to bring my arms out to the sides and start with some zigzag twists. Twisting is very much twisting, and side lateral movement is indicated in springtime season. The dark circles under my eyes this morning told me that I'm tired. Lovely. Let's bring knees in towards chest. Give the legs a little gentle squeeze. It feels like coming into circles, allowing the knees to come in close and then move away. And into the opposite direction. Taking this side to side. Giving the back a good massage here. Coming back to center and figure eights. And the opposite direction, figure eight. Kind of a happy baby-ish movement. Knees are wide, a little externally rotated and bent. We're just having a real wide rocking from side to side. It's fine. This gets in a different area of the hip than when the knees are in towards the chest. I'm a big fan of making up your own wiggly movements. Somebody's here. Voila, we got them. Hey, we were back out here wiggly. Oh, and then come to the center and start shaking the legs. Shake them out, wiggle them. Or you can even get the hands in the mix. Wiggle the hands and the legs. Nice coming back, knees in towards chest. And just this little gentle pulsation, right? So I'm letting the knees move away. And then coming in towards chest. because there's like some legendary level back tightness today from all the air travel. Bonjour, and ça va? Yep. Zigzag twist. Right. So when we're doing all that rotation on the back, like why is that just always so good feeling? Well, that's not always so good feeling. It depends on what's tight that day, but we're moving fluid in the joint spaces, like all through posterior pocket of the hip, in and around the sacrum, SI joint, very dynamic, very complaining joint there at the top of the sacrum. Nice. Coming back to center, stretch the legs, stretch the arms overhead, and just big stretches. Legs together, arms together, single leg knee to chest, which is called Pavanuttanasana. It's a wind releasing pose. So we're going to bring right leg up, but I'm just going to bend my knee and draw that knee in towards chest. So let's breathe and hold. Think about flexing both feet. This opposite leg having a presence on the floor. It's lively. It's not just like idle. Next inhale, could stretch back out or just lower that leg onto the floor. Left leg inhaling, exhaling into chest. Breathing, holding, really lively extended leg on the floor. Nice inhale, stretching out or on the floor. And making some windshield wiper. Nice, we're gonna bend the left leg and we're gonna make big giant circles with the right leg. So ground yourself in any way that feels good with the hands and arms. Are they out to the side? Are they a little bit down? Are they palm face down? You got options. And what's fun about this circle is we can go really far out to the side. And we can also really tune into lower abdominal muscles, how they're working. And I'm also really tuned into these hip flexors right here, this joint attachment, because that's a prickly space on my body. Okay, opposite direction. Can you relax your neck? Right? Like your neck does not have to be doing the work here. We're just doing 5 and 5. Let's switch sides. I need space for my long legs. Right. So I'm moving mindfully. I'm seeing this opposite hip wants to pick up when I'm going out to the side. It wasn't like that on the opposite side. So I'm just slowing down my movement, being even more mindful. Let's go opposite direction. Also got a little thump of that inguinal ligament moving over the bone with each of these circles. Yeah, it is tight business in those hip flexors today. All that sitting. And we're back to the center. And stretch both legs. We're going to do single leg twist with that little adductor stretch. So inhale, right leg falls to the outside, foot is just on the inside of the knee. You might like to turn your head in the opposite direction, you might not. We played around with gentle brushing upwards through the inguinal crease. There's a whole congestion there of lymph. And when we do gentle brushing upwards, we activate circulation. I'm like recycling. No, the word I want is circulation around those areas. So areas of high lymph concentration benefit from such type of upward brushing. Nice. Now we inhale to center, exhale into the twist. Turning the head in the opposite direction so we get that ringing effect on the spine. Only go as far as the shoulder stays on the floor. We do want to turn the head in the opposite direction if that's accessible. Inhale back to center and release. Take a moment before we even do the other leg to just compare. For not for too long, we're gonna take the left leg, drop it to the outside. And we did this sweet little lymphatic brushing upwards. Just using the heel on the palm of my hand to gently sweep upwards. Gonna help with that dampness and circulation in and around the organs, reproductive organs. And let's bring it, so even you can like do the center a little. And inhale, center, exhale across the body, single leg twist. Turning the head in the opposite direction and breathing. Next, inhale back to center. And exhale, release. And feel the symmetry on two sides. From here, we're going to roll to the right side, use both hands to come up. And come down onto the belly. So if it was easy for you to just flip on over, that's fine too. And let's do gentle back bending from the belly. Gentle back bending and a couple of resting, grounding yin poses. We're starting with baby cobra. So legs together, feet together. Hands are by the sides of the chest. We're easing the lower abdomen into the floor, lifting just with the upper back muscles. And our big important movement is the shoulder roll. Rolling the shoulders back and squeezing the shoulder blades together. Feeling that lift with the upper back muscles. You can do whatever you want with the head and neck. You don't have to try to crane it up and look forward. Take a breath in and exhale all the way down. Forehead comes down to the floor and a resting breath. A resting breath or 2 or 10. Next inhale, baby cobra. We'd like to do 4 more. Might be doing them at different paces. And if you finish those 4, before we go on to the next thing, you could do a few more. Inhale as you come up. Roll shoulders, squeeze shoulder blades together. See if you can move the shoulder blades down towards the hips. Inhale and exhale. I've still got 2 more. And last one. Inhale up and hold. Breathe in the pose, maybe not to belly, but definitely to back body, nice and open. You can even pick up the hands. Big breath in. Exhale all the way down and stretch the arms forward or half locust. No, I'm like half locust. This not yet, not quite yet, but this is a Adva Asana, reversed corpse pose. Breathe into back body, breathe into spine, melting into the floor. Remember that grounding that we explored in the beginning, where we're grounding, where we could feel grounded in the body? I described the back of my body as it was touching the floor. You want to feel that same now mirror experience. Grounded in the whole of the front part of the body, melting into the earth. This is a pose that we could hold 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What I'm playing around with here is breathing in between each of the spinal vertebrae as if I can fluff between them. Maybe I'm starting from base of spine and moving one by one all the way up to the back of the head. Allowing for this gentle self-traction.
As I'm doing this, I'm gonna play around with tractioning my hip. So I'm gonna bring I still have my forehead on the floor while I'm doing this. I'm gonna bring my right toe tips onto the floor and like somebody's pulling from my heel, I'm easing that leg just a little bit out of the hip socket. Like I'm aerating in there. Try the other side. A little bit more space on this side. I could also try both at the same time. And then I'm relaxing with the tops of the feet back onto the floor and melting for a couple more breaths. Now we're ready for half locust. Arms in line with shoulders. We're going to do that leg traction again. So I've got right arm, left leg, toe tips on the floor, pulling out of the spine, lifting, not very high, and exhaling down. Right leg pulls out of the hip socket, little gentle traction. And then I'm lifting, arm and leg off the floor, and back down. We're going to do 4 more to each side. Inhale as you lift, exhale down, activating back body, strengthening. This is also flossing between the 2 lobes, activating Ida and Pingala Nadis. One more to each side. Again, resting in reversed corpse pose. You can switch it up, bending the elbows, bringing the hands on the back of the head, back of the neck. Jetsikasana. With the positioning of the hands, there's a gentle tractioning of the spine here. Very subtle. Slowly releasing that, coming into Sphinx pose. Elbows are under the shoulders, easing into the floor. Breath. Let's take a nice big breath in. Exhaling all the way down. We're going to push ourselves up and back into child's pose. Take your time. We just did quite a bit of back bending. So we're just easing in. And after you arrive to child's pose, we start some little exploration of asymmetry here. We could, like, I'm doing this whole combination of this rocking backwards and forwards and then stretching through the side. Just everything needs some space in my body. I'm enjoying this spaciousness between each of the ribs. So I invite you for a little improv here. What little exploratory games would feel good to stretch through the rib cage, to stretch under the shoulder blades? For example, walking the hands back a little bit, rolling the shoulders, alternating, dropping the shoulders and walking the hands back in a little mini lion pose. And moving through the very upper thoracic spine. Stretching the arms in child's pose. Walking one fingertips forward. Walking the other fingertips forward. Coming up onto fingertips, doing shoulder rolls, right? So you just start playing. Today, just having my bum a little bit in the air and stretching one arm forward at a time. That's the ticket today. Walking the hands up or wherever you are, just simply arriving to hands and knees. Let's inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, spine towards the ceiling, looking down. We're just in smooth and easy flow today. Dancing from one pose to the next. Let's come center side. Inhale. Exhale, turn your head, find the heel. Side body stretch, inhale, center. Exhale. More space between those shoulder blades. Between the rib cage. One more time to each side. Lovely. Hands are just a little bit forward, and let's circle with the belly button so hips can flow side to side. And switch direction. Figure eights could be side to side. Could also be figure eights front and back. It's really just about getting the hips flowing from side to side. Take a big breath in, child's pose, exhale. Keep checking in under those shoulder blades, under the armpits. Slowly walking up, diamond pose, Vajradasana. Let's flex. And whatever's the opposite of that, through the upper thoracic. Inhale, let the arms slide back and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, tuck chin. Inhale. It's flexion extension.
I don't know, I got part of my brain back, but not the whole thing. Although I felt pretty coherent in Sunday's class. And I have not felt that coherent for the 4 classes before that. But you guys reassure me that class is still interesting and deep. So yeah. Coming back to center. It's feeling like downward facing dog. We've got fingers spread really wide, toes tucked, nice generous bend in the knees. Once upon a time, we took some time with downward facing dog. I remember we were in Mexico, shrugging the shoulders, letting the heart drop towards the floor, releasing the whole of the upper thoracic and shoulder girdle. I'm not pedaling, but playing around with wagging the tail. I can also pedal through the backs of the legs. Walk feet together, little shrug of the shoulders as we roll over the toes, untuck the toes, upward facing dog. Child's pose. Slowly coming up, maybe grabbing a little bit of padding for the knee. I've got left knee down, right leg forward. Easy lunge, just 90 degrees for now. Let's do some pelvic tilting from here. Gently. So I'm seeing like I spent a lot of time just, sitting in the last 24 hours. So tailbone tucked under or extension is like not the thing that my body wants, but it's loving flexion. So spaciousness through the tailbone. Nice little range of motion lunge. So maybe that front foot goes a little bit forward. You could have back toes tucked under. You could have back toes uncovered. So we're back a little bit with those hip flexors. We have a good long sit all day. Wow, it's pretty tight in there. All right, let's come to static position in center. Earth face stretch. I got my left leg down, so my left arm comes up. I want to feel this opening, whole front side of like quads through my abdomen to side of breast tissue, front part of body, face. I'm waiting for this point where I feel warmth and tingling and activation or the subtle flow of chi prana in that fascial plane. Let's try things out on the opposite side. Don't hesitate to give yourself a nice cushy pillow. We started with some pelvic tilts. A little under, a little back. Take notice of what was the same and what's different on two sides. This side is this side. Not very good. Walk that foot a little forward and let's extend that range of motion. Move it. Oh, this feels really good. But because it's so tight in that hip flexor, I know better than to extend the lunge even farther just because this feels good. Like, this is exactly the range that I should hang out in. I should just do more repetition. Ah, that's really opening something up right now. And it feels heaven. Okay, earth face stretch. I'm going to walk that foot back a little bit so I'm more at exact 90. Right leg's down, right arm comes up, and I want to feel that sense of activation through the fascial plane on the front part of my body. Nice breath in. Let's do side stretch for adductor. First, just range of motion movement, side to side. Take this foot out, make the foot flat, like you're gonna point the toes forward. Try to bring the foot flat on the floor. Inhale, opposite arm comes up. And you could go a little bit towards that leg. It's so tight, there's no going towards the leg. I can come to center. Breathing. Nice breath in. Exhale down. Let's switch sides. We got one knee down. First, we did range of motion. Side to side. I've got my back toe tucked under, but you could do a variety of things. Sorry. Yeah, I got my back toe tucked under. Now I have my back toes untucked. That kind of feels better. Noticing all the little interesting things happening here. This rotation in. That's interesting. We're going to stretch that leg. We're going to turn that foot to the inside. Right knee down, right arm comes up. Same story for me. There's not any access that way. But there is this variation. The opposite. Now it's like a modified side bow. Sometimes I even take this arm over, but there could be a little access in the opposite direction. But now that we did modified half side bow, we got to do it on the other side. So we were doing this thing, but now we're doing this thing. That's why we're turning the foot sideways, because eventually this is side bow. Yeah, it could be just a second and we're in wild thing. And all the way back up. And down, nice. some different access to side body today. Hey, let's come into seated position. I'm going to use this nice firm pillow. Legs extended. Make a few windshield wipers when you get there. When legs are extended, give a little sweep to the glutes. Feel the sit bones very much on the floor. Legs are flexed. Feet are flexed. I'm almost there. Let's bring right foot straight back. Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. Oh, yeah. This foot flexed. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, reaching as much forward as feels good. I'm going to go to about there. And let my breath do the rest of the work. Breathing. Next inhale, back up. And exhale down. Let's come all the way back to that sthiti, starting position. Left leg comes in. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale. A little forward. Let the hands come down. Let your breath do the work. We're inhaling up. Exhaling down. Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. Both legs extended, both feet flexed. No harm in having a little micro bend in the knees. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, reach forward. Breathe into the whole of the back body. This is also our water phase stretch. Next inhale. And exhale down. Separate the legs, bring the hands behind you, have a few windshield wiper. Easy twist from Sukhasana. One arm comes across, back fingertips push the chest forward, turning towards the space behind you. Breathe. Big breath in. Exhale in. Big breath in. Exhale back to center. Legs extended. Maybe this is Marichyasana. Yeah. I think I finally remembered the name of this pose. It's only been like a million months. Marichyasana 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Let's bring right foot across. Wrap with some part of the left arm. I'm just going to use my hand, but it could be the elbow, could be elbow to the outside. Really important, the backhand is pushing the chest forward. We're turning towards the space behind. Ooh, this is getting at that tightness in my low back. It's not even my low back, it's just glute. It's glute minimus. I brought my handy dandy roller with me. I'm going to give this glute a good roll after this. See if I can't loosen up some of this fascia. Big breath in. In the pose. Why? Because we want to squeeze the organs. Detoxification. Let's switch it up. Big breath in. Make sure it's opposite arm and leg. Take a nice breath in. Exhale. Back to center, stretching both legs. That same resting pose here. Oh, while we're here, do a few knee pull-ups. Folding legs into Sukhasana. Let's finish up our practice today with a little Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. Because that's also balancing. Test out the nostrils. See what's happening right, left. We're holding with Nasagra Mudra. Middle finger and ring. No, just kidding. Index finger and middle finger, they fold down. Pinky meets the ring finger. I've got kind of a backlit, so hard to see. Anywho, turn this towards you. Take a big breath in. Close the right side. Exhale left. And inhale left. Could be a brief pause in the center. Exhale right. Inhale right. Switch. Exhale left. That's one round. Let's do several more. This could be our last round. Exhale left completely. Could be a gentle holding of the breath. Pause to follow the breath for a couple of rounds. And the consideration of what we might do next in our day. We've had a lovely pause together. I am super thankful to share this practice with you all. And what might be next? Is it a nidra? Is it meditation? Is it a little bit more movement for some of those sticky places? Are you stepping into the next activity of your day, but a little bit more embodied? I thank you all so very much for the opportunity. I'll be posting our April events very soon, and that'll be exciting. So keep practicing, keep meditating. It's all better if you do, for present moment and the long run. So thank you all so very much, and I'll see you soon.